First up, we're gonna make this Asian tuna salad, which has got a lot of protein, a lot of fresh veg. It's really bright, really citrusy, really fresh. So let's do it. That was a big bite. I did not expect that. My name is Daniel Mang, and I'm a recent Georgia Tech graduate, as well as a contestant on season 16 of MasterChef. First up, we're gonna prep our veg, and right here I've got a carrot. This is gonna provide some nice crunch and color for our salad. Next up, cucumber. I was 8 years old when I first started cooking. My parents, they were out working late, so I really had to find a way to feed myself, and I've been cooking ever since. Next up, I have some green onion. We're gonna separate the whites and the greens. I'm gonna use the greens as garnish, but I'm gonna cut up the whites right now. This is gonna add a nice pungency to the tuna salad. Those are all the vegetables that I'm using today, but remember, if you're at home, just use whatever you have in your fridge or whatever you want. This dressing is really gonna bring the salad together. It's gonna add some nice acidity, some salinity, a little bit of sweetness. First up, we got some soy sauce. I'm gonna add a tablespoon and a half. Next up, a little bit of lime juice. You can use rice vinegar or normal vinegar, just any acidity that you have. Now, a little bit of honey, just for a touch of sweetness. Sesame oil for a little bit of aroma. Finally, chili crisp, just for some heat. Chili crisp is really a flavor hack. I add it on eggs, I add it on pasta, really anything. After I shake this up, I'm gonna give it a taste to see if it needs more salt, sugar, acid. I really feel like that's how you should cook because that's the only way you're really gonna get better. It's a little bit of a workout too, but you got it. I think it's actually pretty good. Now the dressing is done, I'm gonna set that to the side. And now we can assemble. I got my cucumber and my carrot going in, also the green onion whites. I'm gonna add in some canned tuna. Although it's not the prettiest, it has a lot of protein and a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for memory. I'm gonna add in the dressing, and you wanna add a little bit at a time, and then you can add more if you feel like it needs more, but you can't take it out. Sesame seeds, just for some nice crunch and texture. And then we're just gonna give this all a mix. When you eat healthy foods, you know, it's really good for your brain, it's really good for your body. You're just gonna feel so much better. Your memory's gonna be better. You're just gonna think clear. I'm gonna give this a taste real quick. I think that's actually spot on. It's got some nice sweetness, some acidity. So I think this is good to go. We're gonna plate this up. The lettuce has some nice crunch. And now we're gonna add the tuna salad to the middle. I just have some of the sesame, which are gonna go up top. And I'm also gonna add those green onions from earlier. And finally, because I like it spicy, I'm gonna add in a little bit more chili crisp. And with that, this Asian tuna salad is done. For our second dish, we're gonna be making this chickpea shakshuka. Shakshuka is a dish from North Africa, which consists of poached eggs inside a tomato sauce. But I'm gonna be adding some chickpeas to this variation because chickpeas are gonna keep you fuller for longer and they have some nice fiber. So let's get started. For this recipe, we're just gonna need half an onion. I just watched a lot of YouTube. That's really how I learned how to cook, and a lot of practice too, I guess. Set the onion aside. Now for the bell pepper, I'm just gonna use half of it today. It's cool. Gonna put that to the side. Here I have some parsley, and I'm gonna be using this for the garnish. The last thing we need to chop is this garlic, which is gonna provide some really nice flavor for the sauce. The fastest way to mince garlic is just to lay it down, put your knife on top, and give it a little smash, just like that. I'm just gonna give it a couple of passes. That's all the prep, so now we're gonna move on to the sauce. I'm gonna turn this up to medium. So when I came to Georgia Tech, I decided to study marketing because I knew I wanted to be a content creator with food. And I think that marketing background from tech has really helped me in my career. I really wanted to teach other students how to cook. So that's why I started Chefs at Tech, which is Georgia Tech's culinary club. We taught many cooking workshops, we had grocery trips, restaurant trips, just really spreading my passion for cooking and food with every other Georgia Tech student. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of olive oil. And this is just gonna help our vegetables brown, but then also provide some nice fat and flavor. Onions and the peppers. A little bit of salt, which is gonna draw out the moisture, but then also season the vegetables nicely. I'm gonna let that go for a little bit until the vegetables are translucent. The most important takeaway I had from MasterChef was definitely to take risks. You know, many people try to play it safe because it's such a big stage, but just in life, you really have to take risks or else there's really no reward. And then just being able to get on it out of 10,000 plus applicants, it was just absolutely incredible. I'm adding the garlic now because garlic can burn very easily and I don't want it to taste very burnt or acrid. So just a couple of seconds just to toast it through. Now that the garlic is nice and toasted, I'm gonna go into the spices. Today I have a little bit of cumin, a little bit of chili powder, and also a little bit of paprika. I'm gonna cook the spices for 30 seconds because they have this really raw flavor right now, but then I'm cooking it with the vegetables in that oil so they can sort of bloom and release their flavor. Tomato sauce, this is about a cup here. Water just to thin it out. Chickpeas, and I'll go in with about half the can. Let's go. I'm gonna make these wells in the shakshuka, so that's gonna allow a place for the egg to sit. And for the egg, I'm gonna crack it on a flat surface. because if you do it on the edge of a pan, the shell will actually go into the egg, which we don't want. Just like that. Now we're just gonna pop a lid on and then let this steam for a little bit. So if you want a nice runny egg, let it go for about 4 minutes. If you want a harder egg, you can go for 6 to 7 minutes. Yeah, look at that. The eggs are nice and runny, just how I like it. So I think this is good. So now I'm gonna cut the heat. And just to garnish, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil over top. And finally, just the parsley from earlier. And to serve, I'm gonna add some toast right here. And that is done. And let's give it a try. That was a big bite. Yeah, this tuna salad is so good. You know, it's really fresh, it's really bright. The tuna has a lot of body and all the crunch from the vegetables. Now I'm gonna try the chickpea shakshuka. Cheers. You know, I love the flavors of the tomato sauce, especially with the spices and vegetables. I also really like the chickpeas in here. It really adds more body, so then you feel more full. So yeah, both of these are just amazing dishes. Thank you guys for spending your time with me, and I really hope you guys make these recipes because they're super cheap, easy, and delicious. And as you guys go along in your cooking journey, I think these are great recipes to have in your arsenal. And if you want more recipes like these, don't forget to follow me on Meng's Eats on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Thank you.